Well, the first whiskey of the night was a sample. And that sample was peated and bottled at 50% ABV. Now, I didn't know what I was getting into because I just reached forward to the 17 little sample bottles that I had in front of me and grabbed one at random. And it turned out to be a strong one. And so what I'm doing here below your line of sight is opening a packet of oat cakes so that I can get rid of. It wasn't heavily peated, but I'm still getting peat on my palate quite some time after recording. Peat has a way of hanging on for a while. So I will eat this mouth-drying, flavor-killing oatcake before I reach forward to one of the 16 little bottles that's just under the screen, which I will try. And I'm blind. My eyes will be closed when I reach. There are 2 or 3 that I'm hoping to grab because I've been looking forward to trying them. Oh, water and oatcakes. Cleanse the palate. Make it ready for the next. The next whiskey. Okay. Got my eyes closed. Okay, there's 2 rows. There's a front row and a back row. I'm going to reach for the back row. This one here. Oh, I can't tell what it is because it's pointing that way. It says MacLean's Nose, blended Scotch. Adelphi and Ardnamurchan. 70% malt whiskey and 46% ABV, non-chill filtered and not colored. This will be interesting. I've never had a MacLean's Nose before. It's a blended Scotch at 46%. That's good. 46% ABV, that is. So now, let's see what kind of legs and or droplets it gives us. Oh, sheeting action. Small droplets, but not quite tiny. And there's trails of them. Tiny droplets would be smaller than these. At 46%, it should be nice. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of a peaty, funky thing. And it says what? Adelphi and Ardnamurchan. Ooh. This could be like a little Dancy Man. Remember the Dancy Man? Little Dancy Man. On the label from Adelphi. Okay. got some of that funky Ardnamurchan smokiness, funkiness, dunnage warehouse dirt influence. Quite a lot of it, actually. The 70% malt kind of overpowers what grainy notes that I would get from this. Now, I've had two examples of Ardnamurchan before. One of them did not do it for me. That was a whole bottle. And the other one was a sample that really did it for me. I would have to look back on my videos to remember which ones they were. But this, MacLean's nose. And the nose, yeah, I'm getting some of that funkiness. A little bit of oak. And a tiny little bit of fish. Like someone cooking trout on a barbecue. A little bit fruity, but the fruitiness is overpowered by that funky dunnage warehouse character. Definitely a Scotch whiskey. Definitely. So far, I'm liking the nose a lot. I'm liking that funkiness. I'm liking that dunnage warehouse. I'm liking the wood. Okay, I'm going to have to taste this real soon now. It's making my mouth water just nosing it. Ooh. 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 Peaty, funky, and strong, especially on the tip of the tongue. The sides of the tongue also. Dunnage warehouse. Fusti. It's like dusty, underground, dirt floor catacombs. A lot of interesting character here. Since it's from Adelphi and Ardnamurchan, you could guess that most of the malt whiskey that's in here is from Ardnamurchan, but some of it could be from somewhere else too. It doesn't. Tim's label, and once again, this is from Donner Pass whiskey. Tim's label is not that exact, or it's not that detailed. It just said 70% of it is malt whiskey. And MacLean's nose is Adelphi and Ardnamurchan, so yeah. It's a nice sipping whiskey. It's a nosing and sipping whiskey. So now I understand why they call it MacLean's nose. Whoever MacLean is, he must have nosed it quite a bit. There's a little bit of a fungus kind of thing going on here too. Like a mushroom fungus thing, but I would not go so far as to say it's rancio. It's just that funky dunnage. There could be some fungus growing in there. In a warehouse, that is. And that would impart some of this funkiness to this whiskey. I like it. And the more I nose it, I like it a lot. I've only had one sip, and that sip was a real blaster of a sip. It transitions from gentle and mild to sharp. Sharp, and I wouldn't say spicy. Sharp and funky. I'm going to have to try more Ardnamurcans because this is growing on me. It's sharp, all on the edges of the tongue to the front. And the finish, that sharp, funky, musty finish, lasts a good long time and hangs on there. Oh. Yes, I'll have to have another couple of oatcakes after this one before trying another. Because this, even after a gulp of water, it's still hanging on. It's hanging on. This has a staying power like you wouldn't believe. Wow. It hangs on. It sure does hang on. Oh, let's have another wee sip. You know, I'm not going to down this in one go because it's a process of sipping, getting the gentleness, and as soon as I swallow, that's when the funkiness, that yes, there's a peaty note too, the funkiness, the peatiness, that's all Ardnamurcan. When that comes in, it just hangs on. And it takes a long time to fade. This is one that you don't just belt down and go drinking something else. This is one to savor. This is one to take your time with. I wish I had a whole bottle to take my time with it, but I will take my time with this while I edit and render the video. Editing is not a big job, really. It's just putting the intro and the outro. And then rendering it, which takes 10-15 minutes. Yeah, then I'll be ready for another Sluncheva.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.